did you get the go ahead or the green light then to turn your scripts into a production in the first place? Who decides that and says go?
Well, I mean, interestingly, this has all come about for me really in the last 3 years. 3 years ago, I was still working as a night manager in hotels. I was,
Wow.
I graduated from film school in 2001. So it's been a 20-year journey to get to this point, essentially, for me, doing a lot of, I've worked as a bookstore manager, I've worked as a waiter, a barman, but I've never given up. I was always writing and I was always working on something. And I'd put in a screenplay of mine called Follow Up to a competition in the British Independent Film Festival. And it didn't win, but it did place as a finalist. But one of the judges in that festival had read the script, and he was an independent film producer. And he got in touch with me 2 days after this festival, says, look, I really loved that script and I'd like to option it for my company. So I said, I'm 40 years old at this point and I've never had a screenplay option. So I was like, yep, sure, no problem. I don't even care how much money you're offering. So he options that. And then off the back of that, he says, what else have you got? Because we were in the middle of the pandemic at this point, the first lockdown. So all producers could really do was read material. So he says, what else have you got? And I said, well, I've got this little horror movie script I've been working on, which is the film that then became Stalker. So he picked that script up, read it and said, well, I could get this film made this year if COVID calms down. And so we optioned that one as well. And it was really just a set of circumstances. My career kind of snowballed off the back of that. And from the second you become an optioned screenwriter, essentially you have finally found a level of sort of like professionalism within the industry. So immediately other people start leaning in towards your work and saying, well, if he's been optioned twice on this, then maybe there's something here. And you have other producers and other directors start sending you emails or messages or phone calls. And it just kind of has all evolved from there. And now I find myself in a position 3 years after being a night manager in a hotel to getting commissioned to write a feature script for a production company in Ireland, or getting commissioned to write a pilot script for a potential TV series. All this sort of stuff's happening. And it's happened fairly quickly, which I know doesn't usually happen in the industry. It's very rarely a screenwriter will have 2 feature films back to back the way we have. In fact, the Mire finished shooting and the next day the other company started shooting Stalker, which is almost unheard of. It was a very strange month for me, that one.
Wow.